abusu ya memo akwa ba eroba daily update so yeka Adenta Kumi a onwem ebi Adenta Kumi kana say wagina for a MPP parliamentary candidate e wa Adenta constituency. Yes, na wasai NDC top guru pa MPP top guru communication officer na woko asempa ko ka asembia e the arrest in the by because you know video be a circulate a justice of the Supreme Court or more the removal process of Torkono MET and all evidence. And so far video now you could see now and some no running can on all evidence just say on no shaking say you better channel crown or evidence why ready and the bush and now anopens will BNI so I had akwa fana video ni nyina account e be rasa nsem no na yakwa kotie ba say juma dey na like
I don't want to handcuff.
Please, why are you sending him?
Bring him and stand down. No, come.
No, why are you sending him? Please, why are you sending him? Why are you sending him? Why are you sending him?
I don't know what. You told me a CID. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me record the message. Record it. Record it.
BNI.
I'm not record it. I want to know where I'm going. You told me that you are
Let's go. I can't drive. Maybe my man's driving.
No. We are professionals. We are not here to harm anybody. You are equally on camera, okay? We don't want any issues, okay? We are taking to the BNI headquarters, okay? On this, no, you allege, say, there was a restaurant in Accra.
Yes, a restaurant in Accra.
And three justices of the
Supreme Court.
Yeah. Two of which are members of the committee.
Of the committee, which
a probe chief justice.
Yes, and said by the president under Article 146.
Good. It is our two Supreme Court justices, no? Justice Scott Puaman.
Yes.
Justice Asiedu.
Yes.
And the other justice of the Supreme Court. Now we can say for injunction application. No?
Yes. He was instrumental. Yes.
Now on also kasa two justices now.
Yes.
And that justice na yahwaya.
Justice Yoni
Kolendi.
Yes.
Good. And the justices means.
Yes.
And why would you any who have a restaurant?
Yeah, we are all the evidence is there. The record is there.
Record is there meaning say video or picture to show.
Adam say we have all the records. You see, I don't want to go into the exigencies of the matter. We want the president. We are giving the president all the time to consider the petition. So we don't want to preempt anything at this point.
But as far as you are concerned, no evidence be over here to prove your case. No,
it's ready available with the witnesses also.
Witnesses are no in our restaurant.
Witnesses, witnesses, but one or two they are ready.
Are ready to testify?
Yes, they are ready to testify.
And you saw these justices, but did you see the lawyer for one of the petitioners against the chief justice?
That is when that person came to join.
Even though
he was already in the restaurant location. And to Obi Jina baby can say, this is a monstrous lie. And I say, probably maybe a mature, maybe so if you are referring to me, it's me. But the question is,
yes,
were you there at the period? That's the first question. If you are there at the period, the so and so, that's if I just to answer the first question before we know. Were you there at that period between that 7:30 to 8:30? Were you there?
Were you in the restaurant?
Were you in the restaurant?
Eba onono aba Ababekase, it is a monstrous lie. No such meeting took place. That's specific. It is very easy to fact check that. We know those who get justice through negotiation. In the first part of Niwe na, or say a intro meeting biasa amkoso.
I'm not sure.
And they are very easy to fact check.
And I'm the petition the call Akroma at Medical Jubilee House 2 days ago. Now about 4:13
p.m.
4:13 p.m.
And now the petition the call.
Yes, and I'm the petition.
O petition no nyina so e den.
So if honestly now it's in a new official Kesi so now my margin say out of respect for the president and legal counsel and pay advice. I wouldn't have spoken about this matter again because you want to give the president the benefit of doubt to look into it and consider the matters. Until you do hard then you tell. First of all, what is the objective? It's important say Rebecca what's the objective of the petition? For me, two major things, and it's about impartiality and fairness. And now let me even impartiality fairness, media boom, and the integrity of the process. Any process, I mean, Obiabeka say, oh, yeah, MPP, no, Chief Justice. No, yeah, maybe that is true. I'm part of the people that don't want them to remove the Chief Justice. Now, when you say, you remove the Chief Justice, or if the Chief Justice must be removed, don't you think the process must hold the highest level of integrity? Don't you think that process must not come and will say that, oh, the process was not fair? Should it be like that? Say, after the process, Biabeka say, this part and this part of the process wasn't fair. Is that what? The process must hold to the highest standard of fairness. Because this is the highest precedent you can have in our history. This is, lawyer, this is novel. When was the last time I heard say Chief Justice be and there was a process? This is novel. So everything we are doing there is going to be a precedent. If another process like this is going to happen,
a novel under the 1992
Constitution. Yes. So Mati say Nkrumah if I do and I were not there. So but this under the 1992 Constitution, this is novel. And with the highest standard. And they say, what are the major issues? Two things: code of conduct and fairness. As you say, what is the code of conduct? In fact, code of conduct, Emma judges no code of conduct, Emma institution, be as an president, executive code of conduct.
Sure, point.
Lawyer, almost code of conduct. Imrebia, washishe. Ebebu obi okra to me say, utu mi na ukran, in order so be better say, oh, you're corrupt, and I'm corrupt, and I say, a certain perception, because your politics are corruption, unfairness, it starts from what you call perception. Perception. So in order that we will not breach as a judge and as a magistrate, Rebecca say, ni say no, ama Jesus say, Adia ye no, I dream be catchy, and you know, Adia be a friend of code of conduct. So there's a code of conduct for judges and magistrates.
Constitution committee for them to question her on her actions. Bonnie awodino, I will say a busan and the bonnet na obiena noka. Or say on person obey inti. And the MPP for say lawyers ni judge be echo restaurant. Na sa restaurant no munyina sheshia hono. It means say so I judge, any lawyers about almost separate places, better than a restaurant. They were having a meeting and having a coup to take out, and I say, to make sure Torkono, disrespectful Torkono, never comes back as Chief Justice. Where on earth, actually, wait, Jimmy, for somebody to tell you this kind of story? And these judges, and these lawyers, are reputable. I don't even have time to mention names because this story is funny. They didn't get any secure location Sa judges na moka say omako shia akoye meeting any lawyers no the whole Accra no more such a sensitive issue. They didn't have any place to meet than a restaurant where waitresses are going. People are sitting next to them. Whilst people know who they are, they didn't have anywhere to go sit in an open restaurant to do what? Have a meeting and cook a story about it. What is with Jimmy? Now, these are the videos they are circulating. Say, oh, Judge Way, any a lawyers be echo share restaurant, my CCTV, about one Joy News, omo ye jandam, adaya, waiting the Chief Justice say, Bonina wedding yinano, on penny, on coffee, or person sabedi Chief Justice. These are the videos. Watch this. So one, these are judges who enter a restaurant. And when you watch the video, this is a busy restaurant. In fact, the chairs are so close to the point whereby if you are even talking to your girlfriend or your wife and you are not very quiet, the next person could hear everything. We are talking about people who are well known. We are talking about judges, lawyers, who are well known everywhere, who can be noticed. They walk into a restaurant and you expect them to go sit in the middle of the restaurant and have a meeting about the Chief Justice. Serious. Actually, with Jimmy. How can that be the basis? Say, you see, now, these people enter, they go to meet people sitting there. They are in the same profession. A lawyer, a judge, judges, they see judges, they show respect. They walk to them. Because if you're a lawyer and you see a judge, it is very important or respectful to walk to the judge, even whether you are older than him or not. You just have to walk to him out of respect to just say, exchange pleasantries. Now, the second video you are seeing, these are people who just go to restaurant, lawyers in the same profession, see a judge sitting with another person, they walk past them, some of them shake, some go to the other side, the other person sees that the judge is on the other side, go say hello and come back. This thing is casual. And this is what MPP are circulating, that because of this, a serious meeting has happened in the middle of a busy restaurant. Now, Sebio, rent hotel room. This is the second video. The lawyer who got out from his seat, out of respect, when he looked around and saw his colleagues, some being a judge, some of them being one of them being a judge, and others being lawyers, just got up, exchange pleasantries, say, "Hey, boss, namusumabaha. Hey, ahani yes yedidio. Yemre mabeshi ojafuni yakasa. Oh, nice. When number nam Torkono ako jina court, catch Ghana for nyina say, when meeting." I'm like, are we mad as a people? And a whole Chief Justice goes to court and says, "Penny Emma penny ma committee na Ghana Constitution ashe me atino penny mo so Adenta." There's people on the committee, they were at this restaurant in tea. Na adwini mu no ohun se na omo bon ho po. Like this is where we are. This is total destruction. Where the woman has no case. She is scared to meet the committee. She knows she has committed crimes, not a crime, crimes that she needs to answer to. The whole Chief Justice, suspended CJ Torkono through her lawyer, Godfrey Dame, Tio. Chief Justice way akofa Godfrey Dame send a lawyer. Now, ende our court Godfrey Dame na oya Attorney General in the government that brought her. Suddenly, or shockingly, or surprisingly, Torkono morally, when your lawyer Bia or Ghana say that Attorney General that we were talking say, telling people politically, this woman morally could not move away from that assertion to go get somebody to be her lawyer. When your lawyer Bia or Ghana say, the Nana Adodankwa Ekufuado lawyer, Godfrey Dame na yen lawyer or the Nakojina court. Like Jesus Christ. Obia ye Torkono druana. Ana Torkono onferia die. Torkono ni age ni na umudi 17, 18 na neighborhood ya from abena uhubon die. Omonferia die. Torkono is not shy of anything. She's not embarrassed. Torkono, me assure sa time I know 17, 18 in neighborhood no. Na your friend abena uhubon die. Because the issue is, you should be even ashamed. Morally, you are not even supposed to go back and bring Godfrey Dame. But you know what hurts? It is the rationale behind what they are trying to do. They are forcing us to think, say, Madam Torkono, into what she wants is what we have to do. That is what I hate about what is happening. The former Chief Justice Torkono is disrespectful. Very disrespectful. Her body language, her posture, that attitude that she's entitled to something that she's not entitled to. That idea that it is me and that the law cannot apply. That is what shocks me about this whole concept happening. Because Madam Torkono at this point is trying to tell us, say, na semina abano, say, udi wo mu kwa dia, birthday party kura menkobi. Menko ye, menko wedding. As far as onwakodi na semina yedna bejina committee no, the moment aka committee no men didi wa bontene. Because if it was a wedding or a funeral, and anke ko hu nkofo we wasia, anka die ne beka. So right now, the lawyers or people who are involved in this case, they cannot meet as human beings anyway. To Godfrey Dame and get to Torkono. That is how they see it. So it's a sense of entitlement. It is me. So nobody should go out and eat. It is me. So as far as your name is in there, you cannot meet anybody and have a conversation. It is me. That entitlement mentality. Amanda draws my ding. But this woman, if she's making that argument today, say, oh, today, nipebiti aya committee ni so. Nipebiti committee ni so. Ena CCTV ehun so oma ko share restaurant omu ko baby no go share as far as the nipedi bi eka committee no no ono Madam Torkono hu ni say their judgment. In fact, Torkono call court no. She raised some issues. Interlocutory injunction and open. Or see, judge will say, Mr. Puaman, or see, oh, time and now or no a Supreme Court judge, Chief Justice, a former Chief Justice way. Or see, oh, some people try to take him out by petitioning the Chief Justice. And he said, the end of papanity, or when he say, Puaman na or T committee in the automatically, na dream Puaman penasem to Puaman bepamono. Puaman will help the committee to sack her. That is her idea. So she's prejudging everything. She already has an idea about everyone. Because in her brains, or say Puaman et me pia bontreko other lawyers. It's your restaurateur. And the chempo say Puaman asemno on demand and say during her time, the petition brano. Then the question here is, so our petition here, the bro about Puaman. At the end of the day, did you sit on the petition and did you give Puaman the chance to explain himself? The petition itself was not heard. So the petition which wasn't heard, how can you conclude today and say, because a petition was brought against Puaman when you were the Chief Justice, automatically Puaman has something against you? ebia eye enam boni a wakɔwe no ɛna ɛsoso wodaye ama ni tire boni na Torkono every year time na ɔyɛ chief justice no ɛno na ɛsoso Torkono daye ende. Now the question here is, were we not in this country and they raise the issue about a year Gau a judge and another Danko Kufuado Ekofano Edene Baye so Ome Supreme Court judge. People were questioning Gau's political affiliation because Judge Gau or a former parliamentary candidate for the NPP. This matter came to court. What did the Chief Justice say? Because at this point, the Chief Justice wants to tell us to say, because a petition was brought against poor man during her time as a CJ, which we all know say that petition wasn't written by you, Torkono. That petition wasn't written by Kufuado. That petition was written by a Ghanaian with allegations in. And that allegation at the end of the day was not verified to see, say, Puaman ayede na nipa ne kana na se onkaye. So how can you today go to court and say on person committee na juma basu because why dream no Puaman ayede empa wasem? Because at the end of the day undi Puaman body bia. You did not even sit on any petition. For somebody to just bring in a petition does not mean you, the Chief Justice Torkono, you took a decision against Puaman to get rid of Puaman. Unless that was your intention, unless that was what you were planning to do. If that was not what you planned to do, or that wasn't your intention, then it means you basically respected Puaman's independence. You did not care about the petition. You only cared about the independence when it comes to the job. Because you told us the same thing when Gau Torkono Kachre said, Gau na Ghana for Ekasa or your MPP former minister, no parliamentary candidate, he cannot be moved to the Supreme Court because of his affiliation. Not just an affiliation, because he contested on the ticket of the party in power. This was the argument the Chief Justice made. Time I had the case in the bar court. The argument, let's listen to the Chief Justice when that issue was raised.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin took aim at the judgment of the Supreme Court that stayed his ruling on those 4 seats. He asked his lawyers to file an application to get that set aside. But even before that argument will be had in court, his lawyer was on his feet in opposition to one member of the panel, Justice Yao Enesgayewu.
He was known to be associated with the New Patriotic Party. And in fact, he was a parliamentary candidate in one of their constituencies in the Volta region.
I think you said enough.
Very well. And
yes.
I just want to demonstrate from, especially again.
No, I think you said enough.
From the
I think you said. No, I think you said enough. Kindly resume this.
Very well.
After listening to the arguments on both sides, the Supreme Court, the 5-member panel, did not agree with Tadio Sori, lawyer for the Speaker, that Justice Yao Enesgayewu should recuse himself from the case.
This court must take judicial notice of the fact that within the ranks of the Superior Court is a former Member of Parliament for the National Democratic Congress, a former General Secretary of the People's National Convention. The subject matter of this suit before this court is a constitutional dispute and not a matter involving political parties. The objection is therefore misconceived. This court must take judicial notice of the fact that within the ranks of the Superior Court is a former Member of Parliament for the National Democratic Congress, a former General Secretary of the People's National Convention. The subject matter of this suit before this court is a constitutional dispute and not a matter involving political parties. The objection is therefore misconceived.
This is Madam Torkono. Time Albert Bagbin mo case the court to say, Mr. Gau, MPP parliamentary candidate, and the other Supreme Court so. Torkono etna case so the catch Ghana for to say, Gau Sebio a seminar at the court done national. A constitutional dispute, and that any day political parties asem na yeka. 81, she recognized say as another court no na if a constitution no na nanya political party asem, meaning Gawu has the constitutional right to be a judge on the Supreme Court bench, and that it is not about his political affiliation, because we are looking at the constitution. The law is the law. It is not about party which he was part of. Intina Torkono catch Ghana for say, fine, Gawu MPP ni, Gawu are contesting as a member of parliament. Gawu CPP ni or PNC ni, yenimse or your politics pa nemum. Court hanotino a constitution won some na oka a constitution edena ba a constitution won some and original so did juma name mum and your political party. Now the question here today is, poor man, today as we speak, the matter in front of us is a constitutional matter. It is a poor man cry ako restaurant. Now a question NDC ni oho. Na only NDC no atun say didi. Na oya NDC lawyer. At the end of the day, what is in front of the committee is a constitutional matter and not a political party issue. Inti your case in court today say we should get rid of Poaman and other people because you believe say they are politically affiliated or politically affiliated. No, it does not come in here. Meaning, even your basis for going to court, you have breached the constitution. Because if you sat in court and told us to say, Gawu, it does not matter the political party or war. The political party he basically led or contested in their name. What matters in your courtroom is that Gawu is sitting on a constitutional matter. What you are dealing with, this allegation that came up, this petition that has gone through the mail to get to the committee, is a constitutional issue. It is not a political issue, because in the first place, the people who filed the petition have not told us they are party A, party B, card-bearing members. They are citizens of the republic. They actually petitioned the constitution, and they activated a clause in the constitution that has to take effect. And those clauses in the constitution were followed by the president. It is a president in the constitution. What we are discussing is purely constitutional. It is not political. And do not make it look like, say, NDC, in your mind, it is a political thing. There's no political thing here. This is purely constitutional. That is why we are using the constitution to deal with this matter. Sanka political anka John Mahama Beka say yanko asiedun ketia office na yanko dia semono. But because this matter is purely constitutional, the president followed the constitution. The president worked in the remit. He worked inside the constitution to make sure say every single part of constitution is and one year fast. Iti Torkono, you even going to court shows say psychologically you are not ready and you don't even understand the law. Unless you want to delay us, you want to tell us, Gadin, say, Jimmy. That is the thing. Because Gawu, the constitution, not political. What we are looking at today is constitutional. Now, at the Fufra, I na Torkono airport court and say, constitution, no, modify constitution, no. Yamfa and Sanka constitution in favor, no. It's constitutional, never said, say, you petition the president, not say, your petition allegation you say Chief Justice why ye bibia I was say you bututu to na no constitution ma ho kwan say yen kan o TV so emobi ehu I say secret